This Dheera program has been the vision of the first Telugu president of FOXY, which is a federation comprising of 36,000 lady doctors all over India. Dr. Shantakumari is the first Telugu president of FOXY who has started this program in liaison with UNICEF, and will be multiple doctors speaking to you about what exactly is violence against women, what are its types, and what do we have to do when we face it, either as a victim or when somebody else is facing it. First, let us all listen to Dr. Shantakumari speak to you regarding this program. Simon, can you please play Madam's video?
Dear friends, Foxians, and the women of my country, I am Dr. Shanta Kumari, President of the Federation of Obstetrics and Gynecological Societies of India. As a doctor and a woman myself, I have observed very closely how prevalent violence against women is across the strata of our society and the enormous impact it has on the health of our women. My theme for the year as the President Foxy is Foxy for all always, and Dheera, stop violence against women.
Dr. Shanta Kumari, who has relentlessly campaigned for the issues of girl child. I was happy to be the ambassador of Foxy Figure Ox in 2013, and I hope that me being an ambassador has motivated a lot of girls and many families.
Violence against women is a serious human rights violation, leading to injury and sometimes even death. Unfortunately, 1 in 3 women experience some sort of physical and sexual violence during their lifetime. Violence in pregnancy is also widely prevalent, leading to unwanted pregnancies, unsafe abortions, neglected pregnancies with no antenatal care, all these contributing to maternal morbidity and near miss. As obstetricians and gynecologists, we have a great opportunity to assess and support women who experience violence because of the unique opportunity where we get to see them during the pregnancy, during the family planning visits, during their annual checkups, and multiple other times when they come to us. I strongly believe that by eliminating the violence against women, we are not only reaching the SDG goals, but also creates a just and equal society for our women. Until we make men and boys active partners, we can never end the violence against women. In an endeavor to sensitize our own fraternity, my initiative of Dheera was started to eliminate violence against women.
I completely support her vision and mission as President Foxy, and also especially support her campaign, Dheera, Stop Violence Against Women.
It was in 2016 at the launch of Dheera. We brought together the police, the obstetrician gynecologists, the National Commission for Women, the women and men on one single platform to wear orange and say no to violence against women. We organized the public forum and cyclothon to launch Dheera. In 2017 at the Foxy Figo Congress, we partnered with men and organized the bikeathon and the flash mob. The high point of Dheera was at the International Figo Congress at Rio, Brazil in 2018. The declaration on no to violence against women was signed with Figo and WHO. It was here global societies pledged their support to end this violence against women. The Dheera campaign and march at the World Congress of Figo in Rio in 2018 got wide international publicity. No change is possible unless the young minds adopt it and make it a part of their life. Young minds are open and creative. They accept change. Foxy has always worked with adolescents for their health and well-being. Dheera this year adds a new page. I'm happy to share with you all that we are launching the Dheera online school certification course across the length and breadth of our country in all the schools. Foxy for all always. Dheera, stop violence against women.
Sriman, Kiranmay Madam doesn't seem to have joined yet. Shall I start the first PPT?
Yes, madam. Let's go.
Can you see my screen, Sriman?
Yes, madam.
Yeah. Children, now I'll be telling you to start with what exactly is it that we gathered here together to speak about. That is violence against women, and how does Dheera play into this? Dr. Shanta Kumari, who spoke to you just now, has been working relentlessly for the last 6 years before we could all reach you to speak about this. So I'll be telling you what is Dheera, what is violence against women. The next speakers will be handling the types, management of violence against women, the role of bystanders, how do we bridge the gender gap, and something about peer pressure. What is Dheera? Dheera means courageous, the power of being together and fighting this violence against women together. We are not here because every man practices violence against women. But it is a sad truth that every woman lives with the threat of violence against her by a male every single day, all over the earth, with no exceptions. It is a basic human right to live without fear, which is being violated by this violence against women. Any woman who faces these acts of violence has short-term and long-term consequences, both regarding her physical health, in terms of economic consequences, and she gets gravely psychologically affected. It is preventing her from participating in the society and bringing out her full potential. The effect this has on society is very, very huge. Recently, 2 years, we have been facing this COVID pandemic. We have had lockdowns. We were all restricted to stay at home. We were all isolated. All this increased the stress and economic uncertainty of women. And this has unfortunately led to an increasing alarming spike in domestic violence at home. Do you think this is really right? You must have seen some woman being beaten or threatened or scolded in front of you. What exactly is this behavior called? Is there a word to describe this? Yes, it's called violence against women. This is the most shameful violation of a basic human right to live without fear. And unfortunately, there are no boundaries of geography also. All over the world, irrespective of the financial status, whether it is a rich person or a poor person, irrespective of the culture, this is happening. And as long as this continues, still it's difficult to achieve any progress towards equality, development, or peace. Look at this picture. Ostensibly, you can see a woman and a man dancing happily together. But in the background, he's forcing the woman to live in fear, torturing her mentally, sexually, and physically. Where exactly did this violence find its roots? Because of the gender bias, toxic masculinity, sexism, the patriarchal type of our society, and the gender stereotype. Let us all see what exactly all these are. Gender bias. Here you can see in this picture itself how much preference a male is usually given, and girls are considered burdens in our society to the extent that people try to kill a female even before she is born, when she is inside her mother's womb, and some people barbarically kill a female child immediately after it is born, and they neglect the health issues of the female. We have to eradicate this gender bias. What is patriarchal society? At your home, at your school, you must have seen decisions are mostly taken by males, and women are largely excluded from the power to take decisions. Even in our parliament, pathetic situation is we are given just that 1/3 reservation which they are giving for females, Beyond that, females are not being allowed to take seats of power. What is gender stereotype? Since time immemorial, we have been told that girls have to be faithful, they are emotional, they have to tolerate anything, they have to be sympathetic towards our other people, and they depend on others for things. And it has been taught to us that boys are competitive, aggressive, independent, they are logical and strategic. This is not true. We have to change this attitude. Girls can also be aggressive and independent and compete with boys on all grounds. It's not wrong for boys also to express their emotion. It's not wrong for a boy to be dependent on somebody, faithful to somebody. What is sexism? It is the prejudice and gender stereotyping discriminating typically based on their sex. Boys, usually you have been taught you should be strong, you should not cry, you are the boss, you have to save other people. Please understand your mental health is as important as physical health, and it is okay to express your emotions. It is okay to cry out if you feel sad. It is okay to reach out for help. Your mental health also matters, and your physical health depends on how healthy you are mentally. You can be dependent on others. You can express your emotions just like women. You must be wondering why we doctors for women came to you to talk to you about this violence against women. Actually, when a woman or a girl is brought to us for treatment, we are the first points of contact who can recognize changes in their lifestyle, in their health because of the way they are being treated at home. Most of their health problems are rooted in the violence they face at home, and sometimes serious health problems can result during pregnancy if they are treated badly. Why Dheera? As I told you, this campaign was started by Foxy President Dr. Shanta Kumari to stop violence against women. And this is an all India initiative to sensitize, orient, and train 5 lakh boys and girls from 9th to 12th grade and 15,000 plus teachers. Women, please teach your son to respect women. He is watching how you are accepting treatment being meted out to you. If mothers tolerate being badly treated, a girl will think it's okay to be treated like that, and a boy will think it's okay to ill-treat a girl. That is not right. Your son is listening to you, is waiting to follow in your footsteps. He's watching you. Just teach them to respect women. Let us all courageously together say no to violence against women. Open your Twitter accounts today. Tweet hashtag Dheera together, and let us all build a voice to reach the target of 1 lakh voices. Please add your courageous voice to this conversation. Good morning, Kiran.
Thank you, Shailaja. Yeah, thank you. Thank you. Good morning, children. Good morning. Yeah, thank you for joining today. I see a wonderful, number of you all. Thank you to Lata Srinivasan Madam and DAV School for joining the Dheera campaign. You must have heard the introduction video and why we are doing this. So I'll quickly move on to the second presentation. I'll request you, if you have any doubts or anything to tell, don't hesitate. Please talk to us or chat with us, or you can, if you have a mic facility, that you can come forward and anytime you can talk in between with us. Okay. So I'll share my screen. Mic is there, ma'am. Yes, yes. Ma'am, please let children feel free to talk or ask us or anything. Let it be not a very serious kind of curriculum discussion. This is only a sensitization. Let them come out with whatever opinions also. Nothing, no issue about it. So,
Namaste, Kiran, Dr. Kiran Ma'am. I'm Lata Srinivasan here.
good morning, ma'am.
Morning. Yeah,
Nice to see you.
if they have any doubts, at the end of the session, shall we continue, ma'am?
Yeah, sure. Any session, you just indicate to us. We'll just.
Okay, ma'am. Thank you.
Switch off my video because I am somewhere outside. How my internet connection is. So, okay. So, introduction about what is basically violence against women. I think you must be seeing news on TV or in newspapers about various incidents. Sometimes very gruesome. Sometimes recently also incident has happened. So we'll just see what are violence is not always physical violence. It is not always beating up of a person. So there are very many types of things may come under this violence against women. So we'll just
Premnaman, madam seems to have logged out.
Yes, madam, I'll check now once.
Now she's joining again.
am I audible? Am I audible?
Madam, it's not clear. You're
Hello?
audible, but there is a slight disturbance.
Shall I continue?
Yes, madam, please.
If I'm audible, I'll continue. Otherwise, you can.
You're audible, madam.
Audible, madam. You can continue.
Audible,
Yeah.
ma'am. Thank you.
Yeah, I'll try to do this very quickly because so physical violence, psychological violence, and a combination of it. Physical violence is like acid attacks. You must have seen the movie of Deepika Padukone where acid attack has happened, and they used to happen a lot in the previous years. Then honor killings also you must have seen. If you are a keen follower of news, even in Hyderabad, in Telangana, in and around, there have been 3 or 4 honor killings. Then femicide is a hatred, a hatred towards a woman, making them to kill a woman. Then sexual violence. Psychological violence is emotional abuse, like torturing with words and insulting, humiliation. I think my internet connection is very unstable.
Yeah, madam.
Sure. So psychological violence can be stalking and bullying and teasing, etc. Then domestic violence. Okay, various types of violence there. Then coming to the
And we can't see your
first one, I have told you.
Kiran, my madam.
Yeah,
Can't
just
see your screen.
yeah,
Yeah.
I'm sharing. Is it visible?
Yeah, madam, visible now.
Is it visible?
Yes,
Yes,
ma'am. Make it full screen, madam. Full
So,
screen.
huh?
It's not full screen, madam.
Yes,
Make it.
sorry about my.
Just make it full screen,
Is it
madam.
visible? It
And
is
make
full
it
screen. It is full screen.
No, madam,
madam.
it is not full screen.
Is it full screen?
No, madam, it's not yet visible.
How is it visible over there to them?
Black screen, madam.
Black screen.
Your screen is not yet visible, madam.
Okay, then
Madam, shall I share it?
or can yeah, you share. I'll for just yeah.
You just stop sharing. Yeah.
I stopped.
Yeah, madam. Kiranmai, madam, you can see my screen?
No, I am able to see only black. Shriman?
Yes, madam. I can see, madam.
Okay, then I'll just do, yeah. Now I am able to see. Go to that slide. Yeah. Yeah. So coming to the physical violence, I have told about the acid attacks. You must have seen the about acid attack. This is Lakshmi Agarwal. Am I on?
There's a disturbance, madam.
Is it not clear?
Yeah, it's clear now.
Yeah. So this is about Lakshmi Agarwal, who was attacked at the age of 15 after rejecting the romantic advances of a man who was 32 years old. So what did he do? He has thrown acid on her face. So and she struggled her whole life. And what did she do? She did not just stay defeated. She went to court. She got herself treated. Then finally she moved court and struggled for 10 long years and banned the sale of acid. And the acid attacks have definitely come down after that. So this is the story of Lakshmi Agarwal. This is only to say that things like acid attacks also happened and are happening. Next slide. Shailaja, next slide.
Yeah,
So
madam.
what can you do if there is any attack? Yeah. Can I continue?
Yes, madam.
Yeah. So what can you do if there is any attack is threatened is you should not, someone threatens you to attack or threatens you do some harm, or I'll throw something on your face, or I'll spoil your beautiful face, or some such sort of threats are given, suppose to you or someone known to you, you should not keep quiet. You have to tell to a trusted adult or a teacher, and you have to stay away from that person who is threatening. And always you should not travel alone, you should travel with others. And you should also, if something happens, you should make sure that you have to get treatment as soon as possible. And don't stay silent. Don't stay silent. Don't talk to that person who is threatening. You have to quickly inform your parents, teacher, or even police, or a doctor, to anyone whom you trust. And this is not a simple thing. Such threatening is not a simple thing. There are punishments. There are sections in law like 326A IPC, which can lead to an imprisonment of not less than 10 years, or even imprisonment for life. And there is a fine which can be charged to meet the medical expenses. So anyone who threatens any other person with such things, it is not simple. You have to not stay silent, and you should have to take treatment, and you should know that there are laws which can protect you. Then coming to the honor killing, this is a murder of an individual by the members of the family. This is done to protect the honor of the family. You have married outside our community, or you have married a poor person, or you have married against our wishes. You have brought disrepute to the family. These are all the reasons they keep to kill that person. And it has happened recently even in Hyderabad. So this is another type of physical violence. Next slide. So femicide is a gender-based crime, and as Dr. Shailaja was telling, recently also we have come across a family which did not want a female children, and they have done killing of this newborn inside the womb. So this is just because you don't want a female child or you don't like a female person. So that is femicide. Next. Can I have the next slide? Then sexual assault. Sexual assault, you must, whenever a person sexually touches a woman or do something against their wishes, you know, sharing videos or, trying to get unwanted physical contact. All these are punishable. There are sections like 375 IPC, then the Nirvaya Act, then 348 IPC, then POCSO Act, which helps to you need not keep silent. If you are a survivor, suppose if someone does something very harmful to you, you should not shame yourself. It is not your fault. It is not your fault that someone is abusing or someone has harmed you.
Madam has logged out again, Sriman.
Yes, madam. Madam has logged again.
Kiranmay madam, unmute yourself.
Madam, Sajay ma'am.
Yeah.
I spoke to Kirma madam. Madam will ask you to proceed.
Okay, fine. Yeah. If you are a survivor, as Dr. Kiranmay told you, please understand.
Shailaja?
Madam.
Shailaja, you please continue. My net connection is bad and you have to do it little quickly, I think.
Yeah,
that's what they want.
Fine. Okay. As Madam told you, if you have faced an act of violence, please understand that you are not to blame. Do not take a bath or wash yourself. Don't change your clothes. Your clothes might have evidence. Just write down what happened, inform the police, and report in a timely manner so that there is evidence. And never be afraid to speak up because it is not your fault. If you don't speak up, an abuser is bound to repeat his actions. Coming to psychological violence, it can be financial manipulation. Like it is shown here, wife, even if she is earning, might not be allowed to have control or even over her earnings. Husband withholds access to money and does not allow her to spend as she wants. Emotional abuse, where constantly bickering, criticizing her for every small thing, undermining her sense of self-worth. Most common examples are damaging a wife's relationship with her children, not allowing her to see friends or family. A case example is given here where Ashok is being mocked by his colleagues because his wife earns more than him. His ego has got hurt. He takes out this frustration by drinking alcohol more often, having rage behavior, breaks things, yells at her, and blackmails her that he will divorce her. This constant fault-finding behavior affects the mental health of Shreya. This is not correct. Bullying. This is continuous harassment, either verbally or physically. This can be either ragging, which is seen at colleges and schools, or cyberbullying. Suppose a boy asks a girl out, she refuses, then he starts up a rumor that she is bad. He harasses her every day, speaking in derogatory terms, and even encourages his friends into teasing her. This is not correct. If you see this happening, you should report this to your teachers or elders. Cyberbullying. Last 2 years, we have been having online classes. All of you must have got acquainted with digital media. Here, when technology is used to embarrass or write aggressive or hateful messages to shame them or control them, this is called cyberbullying. It can be either threatening or abusive text messages, creating fake accounts, or stealing somebody's online identity, sharing sexually explicit messages. Unfortunately, females are twice more likely to be victims of this cyberbullying. If you're being cyberbullied, check the platform's anti-bullying policy, get in contact with the customer service representatives, block that person, but before you block, make sure to collect screenshots as evidence, file a criminal complaint approaching the cyber investigation cell. If you are not able to report to the cyber cell, lodge an FIR or reach women-oriented she teams. Stalking, which we see in movies, when a boy follows a girl everywhere, repeatedly tries to contact her without her consent, even following her digitally. This is punishable under Section 354D IPC for 1 to 3 years imprisonment and fine. Voyeurism. This is watching or taking pictures of women without their consent, without the knowledge of the woman. It's punishable for 1 to 3 years imprisonment, and if this is repeated, he can be imprisoned for up to 7 years. Eve teasing, making unwanted remarks, making sexual advances, insulting a woman in a public place is punishable for 3 months, and if he uses an object to insult a woman, he can be punished up to 3 years. Criminally intimidating somebody, threatening to cause grievous hurt or death, or destroying your property can be punished by imprisonment for up to 2 years with or without fine. Sexual harassment, as we previously told you, can be punishable up to 3 years imprisonment. Suppose a case study has been given here where a farmer, after losing considerable amount of crop, he gets a loan from a person in the village. After a few months, he is unable to pay his loan back. So he sends his daughter to work at that person's place. Taking advantage of this situation, that guy sexually harasses the girl. What you could do if you see something like this happening? It can be a combination of both physical and psychological violence at home. This domestic violence need not be between a married couple. Anybody at home harassing you, trying to control you. Most of the time, we do not even realize that we are being abused, and it becomes hard for us to believe that a trusted partner can be so manipulated. This harassment can be from in-laws after marriage. Please understand, there is no love where there is violence. Examples of these domestic violence are trying to control them financially, intimidating them, emotionally abusing them, isolating them, saying that the male is privileged, using children to blackmail them, denying their minimum necessities, and blaming them for everything. This becomes a vicious cycle. They start abusing. When you explode, they apologize, they say, no, we'll not repeat this again. Then comes a short period of honeymoon where they are happy for a short period of time, and the cycle starts again of abuse. We must stop this somewhere. Domestic Violence Act 2005 covers physical, sexual, verbal, and economic abuse. It grants immediate protection to the victim and punishes the abuser with imprisonment up to 3 years. We must end this violence against women at some point of time, one step at a time. All of you will be awarded the certificate after attending this session. Let us all tweet #Dheera together and reach the target of 1 lakh courageous voices saying no to violence against women.
Finish this session by 12. So, and they are most interested in peer pressure in last topic. So, next topic also to be little.
Okay, ma'am. I'll go ahead with my next session.
Okay, ma'am.
Hope you can see my screen, Sriman.
Yes, madam.
Next, we're going to the management strategies of violence against women. Yeah. As we told you previously, it has deep roots. There are many factors that contribute to this violence against women, like alcoholism, superiority complex, having a troubled childhood, being addicted to drugs, having anger issues, social discrimination, and gender bias. This mindset is nurtured since childhood based on how a child is brought up. Once he sees his father ill-treating his mother or sisters, he thinks it's okay. What do we do if we know that someone is being accused? First, don't be afraid. Listen to the victim's story. Reassure them to stay brave. Believe what they are telling you. Do not blame them. Do not say it is their fault. Keep an eye on the situation to make sure that it is not getting dangerous for you. Ask what they are planning to do. Report to a teacher, parent, or police, and respect whatever decision the victim is taking. Have resources to keep talking to them, and be very, very careful that anything you does not harm yourself or the victim. What if you are being abused, unfortunately? Recognize the toxic behavior of the cycle of abuse. Leave the vicinity of the abuser and protect yourself. Avoid doing anything to worsen the situation. Report the incident to elders. Record or photograph and keep the evidence of the abuse. If you have to leave your home in a hurry, plan a safety kit. Plan something like a pepper spray. Let someone you trust know of the abuse. It can be a friend, your neighbor, your doctor, or a police officer. First, speak out. Do not let the abuser rob you of your voice. We understand that claiming your voice back is difficult, but trust me, your words have power. Speaking up is the first step to end this violence against women, because your abuser is scared of your voice. If you do not speak, please understand you will be letting down another generation of victims. This cycle will continue. Give the victim a platform to speak. Believe what the victim is saying. Do not blame her. Support her. Stand up for justice. And don't let people forget that once someone commits abuse, they are prone to doing it again and again unless you speak up. A lot of technology has come in these safety techniques. Familiarize yourself with these safety apps. Now we have the Dheera app. Share your live location with your family. Take pictures of the taxi driver with his license plate. That himself will make him conscious, okay, we should not do anything. In case of emergency, activate the location and app. Here, this is the universal distress signal. Just put your thumb, trap your thumb to repeatedly. This is the universal distress signal. If you are not able to communicate verbally, show the universal distress signal. If you see somebody showing the signal, find out whether they are safe, find out what you need to do. If there is a threat of danger, call the local police or the helplines we are mentioning now. Take a screenshot of this, save these numbers in your phone, the common numbers, All India Women Helpline number 1091, Domestic Abuse Helpline 181, Child Helpline number, easy to remember, 1098, 1098. Feed these numbers in your phone, call them immediately when necessary. And how do we report? Report to the local police, record the statement within 24 hours, go to a hospital for medical examination by a female doctor, record your statement for the magistrate, and the special court will complete the trial within 1 year. Girls are strong, so let us keep it that way. All of you will be awarded a certificate after this, and let us tweet #Dheera together.
Thank you, Shailaja. The teachers and students want to interact a little bit. I request Lata Srinivasan Madam to, let one of the children, whoever they want, they can just ask or talk, or they can show the universal distress signal, anything for 5 minutes, so that we can move on to the next talk.
Yes.
Lata Madam? Are you able to hear children? Lata Madam and children, can one of you come forward and... Yeah, very good. Yeah, thank you, thank you. Thank you for that thumbs up. If you want, any one of you wants to share anything, talk anything, anyone, boys or girls, tell anything, please come forward. Yeah. Can you introduce yourself?
Yes, ma'am.
Yeah.
Namaste to everyone. My name is C. Shivram Ludwig, and I'm studying in 8th class. So, I saw really a couple of situations where really some are getting discriminated, like even my own friends saying that don't try like a girl or something like that. And I saw a couple of situations. And I think this is a really good program to make everybody educated about that we have to not discriminate the female ones, and everybody is equal, and not even discriminating the boys saying that you are a man, you have to be strong, means when your emotion, we have to not try like that. So I really thank you guys for this program. Thank you.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much.
Wonderful, wonderful.
Can I have some more input? Wonderful.
Yes, ma'am. 1 minute.
Boys coming forward. That's
Savanthi
great.
has joined.
Yeah, ma'am.
Wonderful. That's what we wanted. You know, boys coming forward is called allies. You are all allies of your other gender. Friends. That's what we intended to, and I think boys coming forward is such a wonderful thing. Please introduce.
Namaste, ma'am. My name is P. Verma, and I'm from 8th class. So, after knowing all of these things, the things which are happening outside, like sexual abuse, rape, etc., we should. I think this is a very good opportunity to learn about this all the things when we are in the childhood age only. That we should always respect a woman. A woman is a girl that she is a girl, and and treat her like a god. And before Shivram also said that crying of a boy is not a good thing. Like you behave like a girl. Even I got so many criticism in my own classroom. Like why are you crying? That why are you crying? Are you a girl? Why are you crying? So I understood. Thank you everyone. Thank you for this faculty. for making this happen. And I'm so happy about this thing that we are educating everyone about this. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much for those inputs. I have one question. I think I have missed what you have said. Did you say that we have to treat girls or women like goddess or as equals? As equal. So you want to be treated as equals. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you so much. Then we have. Then we have.
Very exciting.
One more boy. Yeah.
Namaste everyone. I am Ashil from class 8. I'm going to tell about my experience about this program. It's a really interesting one. I came to know about the many situations that were happening outside the world, which I was not aware about before. And even I also heard many people saying, my brother teasing me that you are crying like a girl, you should be strong, you are a boy, not cry like a girl. But I've seen and many times I've told that even boys can cry, not only girls, and girls are also strong rather than boys, and that discrimination should not happen. I've seen in many societies that there is gender discrimination happening about the color, like the color, like boys are always given blue color toys or something like that, and the girls are given always pink color. They said that they like that, they like that colors, but it's not like that. I've seen many people in my life who love different colors also. And even the discrimination happens when the child is born also. Like they are given the toys, like the girls are given always the toys which are related to homely affairs and that all. But the boys are given like toys like gun, computer, that all. It's not like that. Every person can do anything, and this is what I learned from this session. And thank you all for organizing this session.
Thank you. Thank you so much. Thank you so much, Lata madam. I think our purpose is midway through. We see so much of wonderful input coming from your students. Speak so much about your own teaching and faculty the school has. Thank you so much. Can we have one girl also?
Thank you, ma'am. Can we have something from the girls? How do you reflect on today's program, children? One second. Can we have? Ma'am, 1 minute, please.
Shailaja, yeah, sure. Shailaja, I'll try the next presentation. Bystander, it is small.
Okay.
Then if I lose out, you just take over.
Yes,
All of you are participating.
Namaste everyone.
Introduce yourselves and please tell us what.
Namaste everyone. I'm B. Sajri Vashini of class 8. I just wanted to share a small thing that even in the society after nearly 75 years of independence, the society can't accept a boy and a girl to be friends. They always take it in a wrong way. If they go together and they create rumors, which I have also faced many rumors since class 4. I just want to request everyone who is present here, please don't think that a boy and a girl can't be friends. Yes, they can be friends. And please don't take double meaning. And I would like to thank all the teachers who educated us about these valuable things, which will help in our whole life. And it gave us a strength to go out freely without any so thank you.
So you say healthy friendships. You say healthy friendships have to be encouraged and they should not be discouraged. Even if it is with boys or girls, the friendships, as long as they are healthy, have to be should not be looked down upon.
Yes, sir. So please, I will request everyone.
Thank you.
A boy and a girl can't be friends. Yes, they can be friends. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you.
Morning, Jamna madam.
ahead with the next presentation.
Yes, ma'am.
Yeah.
Namaste everyone. I am Shraddha of class 8. Namaste everyone. I am
Little louder.
Please.
Namaste everyone. I am Shravnika of class 8. I actually have a doubt regarding this topic.
Yeah, tell me.
The doubt is that are women allowed to go freely at night or day like, without any discrimination?
You have a doubt whether the women are allowed to go freely at night.
Yes, ma'am.
I mean, the reality situation, you all know. The reality, the situation, safety issues are there, isn't it?
Yes,
Why
ma'am.
do our parents or elders stop us from going at night or alone is because they're concerned about our safety, right?
Yes,
Okay, so as a rule, as a definitely everyone should be able to move freely. If boys can go to a second show movie, girls also should be able to go. That is this ideal situation. But see, we can't be impractical also. We can't be impractical also, and we cannot push ourselves into danger, not not seeing what are our surroundings or how the other people may behave, whether we can save ourselves and all that. So we have to balance between our freedom and also our safety.
Yes, ma'am. Thank you, ma'am.
Understood?
Yes,
So this is one effort of doing that. But your doubt, I hope that was what Gandhiji told. The day women goes in the midnight with all the jewelry on the roads, that is the day when we get the true freedom. That's what Mahatma Gandhi told. Okay? So yes,
Can I
definitely
add
everyone
one
should
thing?
be free to go. Yes,
Can I
Jamna
add
ma'am.
one thing?
Jamna
Yes.
madam.
I really appreciate that lady who has asked this question. But then, the safety, it's not just about the boys or the girls, but it is safety for all of us.
Yes.
That also we have to keep it in mind. Like if there are a group of drunkards and even for a male, it is not safe. So what is, we have to know the boundaries of the safety also, as
Yes.
Kiran has told that we have to balance between the safety and the freedom. This is very important and each one of us have to learn about this balance. Thank you.
Thank you for asking this question. Very important this thing. Lata madam, I think we have to go forward if we want to finish by 12.
Thank you so much for clearing the doubt. One more child, ma'am. One more child.
Yes, yes. As you wish. We have no problem.
Questions, ma'am.
Yeah.
Very curious.
Yes, we are ready actually. The time constraint is yours, not ours.
Namaste to one and all present here in this meeting. I am Dinesh Ramani of 8D. So, I am a very voracious reader of the Hindu newspaper, and many incidents are happening against women, like acid attacks, honor killings, all you said in the meeting. Will these activities be discouraged more and holding protests all that in the future?
You wanted to ask protest against such incidents. Is it?
Sorry, ma'am.
What was your doubt that whether we can protest about these? We should protest about these incidents.
No, ma'am. Are you going to increase your strength on opposing women violence?
I think your question was not very clear, the handsome young man. What was the question? Can you repeat very slowly?
Okay. So as part of this action or movement, this is a kind of movement. Dheera is a movement. What are we doing? We are sensitizing the students. who are young, who want to change, who want to bring change in society. There is no point in talking to adults who are not going to change. So this is what we intend to do. We are going to increase the number of school students and interact. And I think that answers your question if I understood correctly.
Yes, thank you very much. And also, I want to tell other things. Can I continue?
Yes, yes.
In the olden times, women were just limited to housework, teaching, all women with personality activities because they were discriminated in society. Now they are going for other fields which were not interfered with women in the earlier times. So this is happening because of people like you. So thank you very much.
Thank you so much. I can't say how heartening it is to listen to you all young people. It gives us so much hope, and we are reinvigorated, we can say. We have been doing this program, but whenever we see young students and children talking like this, so we are all the more, invigorated and re-energized and to continue our program. Thank you so much. Thank you so much.
And also happy Doctor's Day.
Thank you. Thank you. Thank you so much. Shailaja,
Madam,
I think you should take the next, or shall I try? I just want to try, but
you try, madam. If there is an issue, I'll continue.
yeah, I'll try. And after any issue, just keep the presentation open and just take it over.
Yeah, it's open, madam. Shall I share, madam?
Yeah. Yeah. I want you to share because once I share, it will be even more. Next is bystander activism, which is very, very interesting. Is it clear or my making? So we go to the next talk, that is role of active bystanders. So next slide, move quickly. I'm afraid if my connection. So bystanders are people like us. We all see the incident, we read in the newspapers, we watch in the TVs. We are all who observe these acts of violence, but we are not the perpetrators of the violence, but we are generally silent about this. That is the whole problem. Next slide. So there are two types of bystanders. One are passive bystanders, like many of us who do not act or intervene. Again, due to many reasons, because our parents may tell us, why do you get yourself into trouble? Or you are late for some time, you are afraid of the police, or your society influence is there. Someone will help. Why should I get into this problem? These are all the reasons which make us not to interfere. Then comes the active bystander who will take action. There are, and try to stop it. So next slide. Yeah, next slide is there are 5 D's. There are 5 D's which help us to be an active bystander. The first D is distract. Like if you are seeing something happening in a bus stand or something happening in a bus or a movie theater or a club or anywhere, what can you do? You can act that you are lost. You can just go up to that person and ask for a time. What is the time? What is the address of this place? Or you can pretend that you know that girl or a person who is being harassed. Oh, Sunita, is it you? Acha, I have seen after so long. Can we walk home or something like that? You just take the attention of the harasser, or you draw the attention of other people who are standing there over to the incident. That is called distraction. This you can do safely. Second is delaying. Delaying is by talking to that girl as if you know her and telling her I am going on that way, or you just sit with her for a while in the bus stand or wherever the incident is happening. This reduces the severity. The victim or the person who is suffering will feel that there is someone else along with me. So this is delaying. Third is delegate. Now you are a student, you are 13-14-year-old, and anyone may not be so strong that we can stop that person who is attacking or harassing. Then you can take the help of the third party. If you are near a shop, it is a shopkeeper. If you are in a bus, it is a bus conductor. if it is in a school, it is a teacher. If you are in a crowd, you can identify one adult person who is looking responsible and you can take the help of that person. This is delegate. Then the fourth one is document, which I think you all must be knowing recently. Many things have happened where students and everybody record things which are not to be recorded actually, or even if recorded, they should not be shared on the social media. You know, a recent Jubilee Hills incident, I'll not go into it. It just hurt us, all of us, so much. So the recording documentation has to be done to record the evidence, and it should not be shared anywhere else. You should ask that victim what you want to do with this recording. And if the police wants any evidence, and if there is evidence is lacking, then as a safe person, you can share this evidence of recording or photos or anything as an evidence to the police or your teachers or to the person who was troubled and all this. That is documentation, which is the fourth D. Then coming to the fifth D is direct action. Direct action is whatever movie heroes do. They go and fight, and so much of fighting goes on, and hero rescues heroine single-handedly. But this is, as you know, it is not practical most of the times. It is not safe. It may escalate the situation. But you can do this when the harasser is your friend, your age, and you know that person. Suppose he is eve teasing another classmate of yours, then you can directly confront that person and say, no, this is not right. You have to be clear, confident, but you have to assess the safety of that person as well as yours. So it is 5 Ds. I'll ask you, or you can tell later what are the 5 Ds, very important. But the golden rule is you have to intervene only if it is safe for you to do so. Don't intervene when it is not safe. And it is always safe to call the police. Don't think that calling the police in emergency, difficult situations is something which you should not do. Or there is a child helpline 1098. Remember this, 100 or 1098. Use this only in very precarious and difficult situations. And then coming to more ways to get involved, which we are doing. You are taking part in Dheera initiative thanks to your school management, and we are taking part in this because this is another way of becoming an active bystander. Like, letting others know, writing stories, creating street dramas or paintings, or, appreciate someone practicing bystander intervention, giving prizes or something. This is all things where we raise the awareness and we become from passive bystanders to active bystanders. And always you all must be, you look more aware than us, you look more woke than us. I would say that because I have seen you talking. You are all so much sensitive and sensible children. And still I'll repeat that the wrong things to say is to blame the victim. Why did she wear a short skirt? Why did she go in the night? Why did she get into that car? Why did she park her scooter there? Why did she go alone? Why did she not call police? There are 101 things that people say when there is a bad incident, that both have to be separated. You should not blame the victim at that point who is already suffering so much. You have to point your fingers to the person who has done it. You have done wrong, not the girl who has suffered. So again, we have to be courageous together to say no to violence against women. This is our movement. This is our initiative. Dr. Shanta Kumari has made this happen through UNICEF and Foxy. Especially she was particular about children to get sensitized, because we know adults never change. We have our thought processes totally fixed, and we never change. And it is the youngsters who will take this country forward. So if this nation or society has to change, it is through you. So that is the reason we are doing this program. And I'll end this. This is a short talk, and with this I hand over to our very senior madam, Krishna madam, who is a professor and HOD of Apollo Institute of Medical Sciences. And she has been here since the beginning of our session, listening to you. So she'll take you through to the last 2 presentations. And thank you, madam, for making your time available to us.
Thank you very much, Kiran, for that kind introduction. A very good morning to all of you. At the outset, I would like to thank the principal and teachers of your school for letting us be a part of this very, very important initiative. And I've been listening to all your comments, your queries, and your discussions with Dr. Kiran. And I'm so very happy that you're all already been sensible, sensitized, and aware of what is happening around you. That is the most important thing, is to be aware of what is right and what is wrong. So awareness is the most important thing. Then you take care of yourself, and of course, always help others whenever they are in trouble. So most important thing is you yourself, and then comes the person next to you and your people whom you meet on the way, with even though they are not known to you. So whatever way you can help, please try to help, but primarily take care of yourself. And I think I'll move on to the sessions quickly, so that we'll have some more time before your clock rings 12. We can have some more interesting comments and thoughts coming out from you children. I don't know whether I should call you children. You're in the 8th class, 13-year-olds mostly, and your adolescents stepping into your next phase of your life, that is becoming an adult. Is you're halfway through, and you're just stepping in. So it's very, very important that you know that there are multiple changes that are happening in you, mentally, physically, and socially. So please try to understand your body first, and then you please take care of yourself. So shall I move on to my next session, for my session?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. So my topic is, first topic is bridging the gender divide. And so am I slide, is my
Yes,
slide visible?
Yes, ma'am.
Yeah, am I audible?
Yes, ma'am.
Yeah, thank you all so much. So my topic, which Kiran asked me to go ahead today, is talking about bridging the gender divide. You all know very well what is a gender divide, and that's exactly what they have been trying to tell you. That there is, what we are trying to do is trying to bridge the gap between what is constituted as a male and what is constituted as a female. So somewhere in between, we have to draw the line and then make a bridge and then say that we are all the same. So you do have a pre and post text, and we need your feedback. Thank you all so much. And this starts very early. This gender divide starts very, very early, as soon as you're born. They, first of all, when they search for a name, they first think, oh, these names suit a boy, these names suit a girl. But you have to understand that there is somewhere in between, there are certain names. For example, Shiva. If basically when you hear the name Shiva, you identify it as a male. But I had a friend in my college when I was doing my 12th who was Shiva. So it's not that you always have to have a fixed thought in your mind for starting from the names itself. So when we are talking about genders, it is only a socially constructed concept, but there can be a mix and match. So also not only the names, the traits. I think as soon as you say somebody is very active, somebody is aggressive, somebody is competitive, somebody is born to be a leader, somebody is very mechanical, who comes into your mind, a male or a female? You can put it in the chat box, or you can, I know that you can definitely identify what we are talking about. At the same time, when we talk about a person who is very considerate, creative, who is emotional, artistic, gentle, I'm sure that you identify it with a certain sex. So this is what we are trying to say. It's definitely a fact that the genes, the hormones are different, but then there are many a times characters which can be common to both of you, because both of us, whether it's a male or a female, they do have even the chromosomes that constitutionally, genetically, and they do carry certain hormones which are there between both of them, which are common to both of them to a certain extent. So don't please characterize them or stereotype somebody into just being a male has to be so and so, a female has to be so and so, just because it is ingrained in our culture. And of course, added to that is the what we see in the audiovisual media, movies where men are supposed to, heroes can bash up 100 people, then only you appreciate them, then only you call them a successful male, or where even at home, the way they treat the girls and boys at home, that the sons and daughters are different. They allow boys to be more violent, and whenever a girl shows herself to be more like a leader, they call her bossy, but they don't call her she's responsible. So this stereotyping, it restricts an individual's choice and fosters sexism, and it has finally leads to unequal outcomes much later. So is it a social evil? Yes, women are oppressed officially, unofficially. They're supposed to do household chores, and like not in the olden days, even today, what children are coming from privileged homes. So you have your mother's fathers sharing responsibilities, having some help at home. But there are many families in our country where the women are still limited to doing the household chores and be submissive, and they leave their work to raise kids. And there has been a feticide, female feticide. You must, all of you who are into newspapers, into reading news, know about female feticide. Discrimination starts at that particular, from the fetal age itself. So there's a wage gap between people, and every woman, although they are goddesses, most of them are not respected as they should be. And when you look at the male and the female, we realize that they're not on par with each other. Their level is not equal, because there's still countries where they haven't given women some rights, but most of those countries are now coming up with much later with giving women voting rights. There are many young girls who are not, still we are fighting to educate our girl child. That is one of the slogans in our country. Then child marriages and dowries are still prevalent in certain places. And then they have less access to financial resources, and they're not represented well, as far as when you consider any field where there is some leadership decisions, whether it's the chairpersons of a company, whether it's in the politics, wherever it is, we don't find as many women as they are men. So what do we need to do? What we need to do is both of us to coming together and creating a gender neutral, gender responsive and equal society. And the most important is to eliminate the gender inequality and any bias that is happening with specifically with the women. So if all of you boys might be thinking, why should I listen to all this? I'm not a violent person. I have not mistreated any women. But it is very important that you understand that you need to also help the society at large to make it much better for you in the future. For that, you need 8 active steps where you ensure that no other man commits such violence against women. We know that you are not the one, but you also should see that others do not do it. So how do you do that? First step is to share the care. So enjoy helping out your mother at home. You enjoy, it's not only your sister's responsibility to help your mother. We know that you as a child have certain limitations, but at the same time, whatever you want, how much ever you can, please help your mother or help your sister at home, to help them if they are into any domestic work. And whenever somebody is doing something for you, you have to appreciate them unconditionally. And most important is, you also have to understand the sacrifices that your others are making for you. And whenever you want to help them, you have to spend time, have some emotional attachment to your family. And of course, you have to encourage your mother, your sister, whoever is at home, to do what they would like to do. That is, whatever their interests are, please appreciate them, help them as much as you can, and let them encourage them. And you hold yourself accountable. What do we mean by that? So it's very important that you have to respect men and women equally, and you should, most importantly, you should be not think of yourself as I'm a boy and I'm entitled to such sort of behavior. No, you are not entitled to certain sorts of behavior. You are entitled to be a good boy, and you have to be aware of yourself that whether what you're doing is right or wrong. And if somebody is criticizing you, do not take it negatively, but be open to criticism. To sit back, think. You're all intelligent, sensible children. So sit back, think, appreciate the criticism, why it was made. And if you think that you're really being, if you think, Kadu, you should think that your something might be, if it's continuously being repeated, especially from your somebody close to you, you understand that when there is toxicity, you have to change yourself and make yourself a good person. So what is traditional masculinity? Boys don't cry, boys should be strong, man should be powerful. This is not the way it should be. Everybody has the right to, everybody has emotions, everybody has the right to cry, everybody has the right to be weak at times, everybody has rights to be treated with gentleness at times. It doesn't matter whether you're a boy or girl. So please break these stereotypes. When you feel that there is something for you to be sad about, express yourself. Don't try to suppress whatever it is within yourself. So express yourself, and who do not allow it as question them. And a man should be sensible, not be aggressive and violent. So what will have the sensitive men are the one who are going to change the next generation. So let them cry, let them break down, let them be anxious, let them have emotions, be insecure. And you also have to realize it's not only women who get abused, it's also men do get abused. Men also have mental issues, and then you also have to support other men too. So it's mutual. Women should support men, men should support women, men should support other men, women should support other women. So this should go on, and all of us are partners or allies in making the society a wonderful, a beautiful place to be there. So do not belittle or silence anybody, and realize that all of them are equal. You also have to respect the choices. So when somebody makes you feel uncomfortable, you just think for a second, why is it that you are uncomfortable? Are you biased? And what are the circumstances in which you or the other person are, so that you are differing with each other? But do not judge or shape anybody for their choices. You have to understand, nowadays we hear about each one, there's so many choices that everybody has. So if somebody chooses to be different from what you think what is think is normal, please do not judge or shame them. So most important is another point is the consent, which we are going to be elaborate in the next session. So basically it goes by the acronym FRIES. So you all know fries. I know you all love French fries. And remember that what is freely given, what is reversible, informed, enthusiastic, and specific, that is the characters of consent. So you always have to understand the word yes, sir. So you should never say boys will be boys, or she was asking for it, as Kiran has already told about. And next thing is important thing is sexism. Whenever you see some people are not are being stereotyping a female or making some comments. When you see it, you name it and stop it. So it's unfortunate that when statistics shows that all women experience sexual harassment at least once in their lifetimes, and this sort of partial behavior for being a woman, of being identified as a woman at least once a week. So you have to call out such behavior in a safe and respectful manner. And like we have spoken about bystanders, if you're somebody saying something to another girl or a woman, don't be passive, be an active bystander, condemn them or educate them, or try to inform them what they are saying, especially if they are your friends, relatives, or co-workers. Just do not excuse them because they are they belong to your circle. So if anybody close to you is doing wrong, please identify them and please tell them to stop it, and ask them in a polite way, in a nice way, in a whichever way you are comfortable with. You have to talk to them. Then the 7th point is challenging gender stereotyping. So first of all, look at yourself. See if you have that. Oh, she is a girl. My sister is a girl. My mom is a woman. My friend is a girl. Do you have any such stereotyping thoughts in your mind? If you have such, and you have any special prejudices, please overcome them first. And this is a very common thing. Women are not good at driving. So this is a personal experience we all had at every point of time. Whenever a male person sees us driving, they always think that they can horn or they have to overtake. They never realize that we are following the traffic rules. We are going by the prescribed speed, and we stop at the signals. That's why we go at a certain phase, what you call pace. But then they think overtaking from right, left, or continuously horning as if we are not able to drive is not done. So you have to, every argument, you have to realize what are the facts. You should appreciate the woman who is going in the right path, right way, and doing the right thing, rather than trying to say, oh, this is a woman who doesn't know, who is very afraid of driving. It's not at all that women cannot race, but they can race at a proper time, at a proper place, and at a prescribed place, not on the city roads. Please understand that. So every time a woman speaks about her experiences, the first thing is there is always a query behind her. So it's very important, whoever it is, you have to believe the survivors. So first you have to listen, you have to believe and support. And then this is possible if only if you are an ally. Ally means nothing but friends. And you can offer to her unconditional support. So you don't weigh what is good, what is advantage for you, what is a disadvantage, shall I move away? These things should never come into your mind. If you are a true friend, you have to be there with her and support her whenever she's in trouble. So whenever if you click on Google and ask for women should, it's unfortunate that the top searches show that a woman should stay at home, should not work, should be seen, not heard. I think that we have to make a very gross reversal of this particular thing that is happening, and this narrative should be changed to make a gender neutral society. That is, women should be treated on par with men. Women should be can occupy high places in the society, as even in the politicians or as any other leaders. And women should be heard, and these should be the dialogues which should come to us first. So it's important that you understand that women can do. They're always multitaskers. They keep doing so many things at one time and try to manage everything to the best of their capability. So you have to appreciate that. And with this, I would like to close the first talk. You also know about the registration, pre-test, post-test, and the feedback. And you will be awarded the certificate. Once again, I would like to reiterate, let us be courageous together and say no to violence against women. And of course, we include men as a part of this initiative. And let's all tweet together and build a voice, and then add your courageous voice to the conversation. Thank you.
Thank you, ma'am. Thank you, Krishna madam. Lata madam, do you want interaction now or after the next talk?
Thank you so much, ma'am, for your enlightenment. Really, children will be blessed to hear all this, and also that they will be comfortable living in this society which is of gender bias. Thank you so much, Krishna Kumari ma'am, Dr. Krishna Kumari ma'am.
My pleasure. My pleasure, Dr. Lata.
My students have some questions. Can you please clarify the queries, ma'am?
Sure, ma'am. Let them go ahead. Madam is here and Dr. Jamuna madam also is here.
Yeah, please go ahead.
Namaste everyone. My name is Kalika. I am from MC. I just want every woman and girl to roam around the world freely. Even my mother also says to stay back at home, never go out, even to the nearest shop from my home. I don't know why, but she always believes in this discrimination and all. I just want every woman to learn the self-defense. Every woman and girl should learn self-defense because we don't know when the problem will face the problem. It will be so helpful to us to learn the self-defense. My father also joined me in the self-defense classes in summer season. Actually, I learned so many things. I think it's very important to learn self-defense for every girl. We need to protect ourselves. We need the courage. We need to roam freely around the world. And thank you for conducting this program. I'd like to thank every doctor and teachers in this program for conducting it. It is very important and we need to learn all these things. Thank you for it.
Thank you very much. And I missed your name, but what you have said is very true. But you have to also understand that you have to ask the choice of your mother. If your mother prefers to stay at home, if it is her choice, it is by choice that she's staying at home, you respect it, whatever it is. If it is by force or because of certain circumstances, she is able to not doing it, then you have to find the reason and then help her overcome her inhibitions or any fears that she has. And I'm very glad that you are taking up your self-defense seriously and your father is encouraging you. And that is, I wish all the girls and boys, all, not only girls, all girls and boys to learn the self-defense. It's a good point. And it's not only the self-defense, you carry your pepper spray in your bag so that whenever somebody doesn't listen to your no, when you say no, you have some way of self-defense, not only physically, but other things also have to be taken care of. And you take care of your mother, just talk to her and you just find, okay? Find what is making her.
Namaste, ma'am.
Namaste. Yeah, please go ahead.
From class 8A, I have a doubt about body shaming because I feel that some people say that I'm fat, I can't run. Do you have any ideas about that?
Yeah, see, body shaming is something very common, but it should not be done. So first of all, you have to be confident. You do not get affected by somebody else, but do not allow anybody to body shame you. So you say, I'm fine, I look good. That's what I've been saying when even I've been a little over, I'm also on the overweight side relatively, but I don't care. I just carry myself with confidence. And if somebody tells me that you are, if nobody told me, because it's all depends on how you carry yourself. And you have to be you have to be self-confident. That is very, very important. And most importantly, it is not only for regarding being fat, but it is also about many other things. We tend to comment about the color. That is some of many other things that everything about so many factors which I don't want to speak about and bring it into your nice young beautiful minds. Also there are many ways of being shamed, but then it's very bad that you do not. In the next session which we are going to take, it is about being how you have to be what is peer pressure. So I think when you are having when you belong to a group of friends, it is very important that when you call somebody a friend, you should accept them with however they are, whatever they are. So please do not allow anybody to body shame you. From your health point of view, if you're having any discomfort or any problems, yes, you have to do some active exercise and see that you are more physically strong. That's all. But it's all about not appearance, it's about health. So take care of your health. So do exercise, eat healthy, and be confident in yourself. And let not anybody shame you. If somebody's calling you fat and it is a friend, it is not a friend. Remember that. Okay.
Happy Doctor's Day, ma'am.
Pardon?
Happy Doctor's
That was a nice question.
Oh, thank you so much. Thank you. From all of us, thank you from all of us. Yeah, your voice, can it be a little clearer? Hello, something. Yeah, please keep talking. We'll see if we can catch you what you're saying. Not able to. Yeah, you're audible, but the voice is getting disturbed. Its clarity is not there. Partial, little. Yeah, please, let's try.
Can you be a little louder?
Namaste, that I heard. Finally, I got the namaste. Thank you.
She's asking that there is always a discrimination. Why it is there?
You want to know why there is discrimination?
Yes.
Yeah, so actually there shouldn't be the discrimination. That's exactly what we are talking about. When we are talking about gender equality, that's exactly what we are trying to bring a change in the younger, like already Kiran told you all, that it's very difficult to address the senior people who are older people who have already have fixed notions in their head. So that's the reason why we are taking this time off to address you people, because you're so fresh in your minds and the future belongs to you. So we want you, along with your classmates, boys and girls, always to respect each other, treat equally. So there is no boy is not above, girl is not above. We are not saying girls are more better than boys. We are saying girls and boys should be at the same level. Both are the same. So each one, you should understand there are certain limitations as far as gender is concerned. But then in spite of that, you also have to remember that the respect you give to each other should always be maintained. The first thing, whether it's friendship, any relationship you have with any partner, with any person, whether it's your parents, your siblings, or your friends, whether it's girls or boys in your class, the first thing you have to do is respect them. So once you learn to respect the other person, automatically everything will fall in place. But only the lack of respect is what makes us feel that somebody is inferior to us. So that should not be there. So when you say, oh, she is my friend, I respect her, then definitely nobody will dare discriminate between you and them. So like Kiran already explained, there are certain limitations because the world is still not made to be like what you want, the world where you have complete freedom to do whatever you want. So you have to be aware of it, and you have to be intelligent enough to mold yourself to the circumstances. So just do not be influenced by anybody else, whether it's anybody who around you, or by social media, or by audiovisual media, and go by it. When you see a hero bashing up 100 people, don't clap your hands. So because you don't realize what is the point? That is it practical? Is it considered great? Is it good to be violent? No, you have other options. So people who speak, who are what you call helping you out, who are real heroes, are always few. Much, it's they are the ones where hardly they are like whom we know is only like a tip of an iceberg. There's so many real heroes in life. Admire them, follow them, and see what they have done with their lives. Do not follow what you see in what is very evident in front of you. You search with your intelligence for the person who is best.
Yeah. Can I add one? I tried to answer. You guys are asking really, very
apt questions.
Very important questions. Where there is discrimination. So I would we'll not be able to say why there is discrimination, but we can find solutions to it or try to, move towards a less world which has less discrimination. So that starts with seeing each other as being different. That other person is different from me, as different as I am, in color, in any which way, in class, community, or country, or gender, anything. So that other person is just different from me, and they deserve respect as much as I deserve respect. If once we develop this attitude, I think we all will move towards a very less, as minimum discrimination as possible. I think we should move on to the last presentation. We'll end our Zoom by 12. Shall we? Or one more question? Ma'am, can we move to the next last presentation?
Somebody wants to say something? You want to say something?
Yeah. Yes.
Quick question.
You're muted. Unmute yourself. Unmute. The screen is muted.
The screen is muted. Yeah. Right.
Yeah. Now carry on.
Speak.
Not audible.
We'll do one thing. You just write your query on a slip of paper and give to your ma'am. By the time I finish the next presentation, along with your name, put it in the chat box. Okay? And once you put it in the chat box, once the session is over, whatever time we have, I'll quickly finish this thing. We will take up the rest of the questions. Okay? Fine? Is it fine? Okay, great.
Definitely it will be taken.
Yeah. Okay, I'm going ahead with the next presentation.
Ma'am. Yes, ma'am.
So what is peer pressure and how can we decode it? That is the next session which I'm going to take. And we are going to see what is a toxic environment and what is a good touch, bad touch, and the concept of consent and the power of no. These are the main highlights of today's presentation with a pre and a post test. So basically when we are talking about peer pressure, it means that any influence that peers, that means for your friends, the person around you, whom do you interact all day long, how do they affect you, and what are the different types of behaviors and habits which make you all come together as a group. So if you have 100 students in your class, you have 5 or 10 close friends. What do you mean by that? What has brought you all together? That is exactly what they are called. Then they are called as peers who influence you. So that is, sometimes the pressure which they exert on each other is very subtle, but then it leads to major effects. So it can be spoken. That means openly when somebody says, please do this, you're not even please, you do this, and you do it. Sometimes they do not speak, but it is behavior, their attitude or behavior. They're just not bothering. When you don't do certain thing, they are trying to ignore you or give negative vibes. Then it is an unspoken pressure. Sometimes it is they ask you to make a spot decision directly. Come on, now if you are my friend, you also should smoke along with me. Then that is again a very negative type of peer pressure. Then sometimes it can be indirect, that you hear them gossiping and you two of your friends talking to saying something negative about you, and you adapt yourself for change because you do not want them to talk about you. or most of the times what I understand is it can be both negative or positive. So, which is against a morality. If you are being pressurized because of your friends, it is a negative type of peer pressure. Whereas sometimes you are influenced by friends in such a positive way. So we all have children, we have seen them, how they're good friends, how good some of their friends are, and how they influence each other very positively to do better, to be more healthier, and to be more knowledgeable. They talk about more positive things, and they make them more responsible. Such positive peer pressure is what is always welcomed. So so how do you differentiate? When do you think that it is negative atmosphere that it is creating? So when they make you feel bad, or they make their own terms, if you don't do this, you will not be my friend. And you're always worried, if I don't do this, maybe they will drop me from their group. And they keep constantly gossiping. And always it is you who are putting the effort. They are not putting in any effort to be all inclusive. They do not respect when you say certain limitations. No, I have to go home by 4 o'clock or 5 o'clock or 8 o'clock. They don't respect it. They say, it doesn't matter. Now, if you want to be our friend, to be in our group, you have to stay with us beyond your limitations. Don't fall into all these. And they make you do things which you don't want to do. See, all of you have an inner instinct, so which keeps on telling you, the inner instinct as well as your parents' guidance, or your by your knowledge or what you see around you, you already know instinctively what is good for you and what is not good for you. So please do not be pressurized into doing things which you do not want to do, especially just to be more popular, or have to fall into that particular group, or they might drop you because of your mistakes. These are the things which are going to make the atmosphere very toxic and lead you to worse traits. So another important point is how to avoid uncomfortable situations. So never try not to go out with strangers. Usually you should not go with anybody whom you do not know. And whenever you're going anywhere, please inform your parents or siblings. It is not that they are suppressing your right for freedom. It is their care for you, when it is for safety for you. When you tell somebody who is very close to you, even if not your parents, your brother or your sister should know where you are. And you also have to carry a phone. Respect other people when they say that they cannot stay overtime just to spend some time in the coffee shop. And you also have to have your own boundaries, which fall within your safety, your parents' advice, and your limitations. And anything you're not comfortable, please say no, no, no. And if you sense danger anytime, don't feel free to dial 100, which is the police number. And girls should avoid boys who don't believe in equality, about girls who are rude to their mothers. They do not respect your boundaries, and they ask you to send nude pictures, or will always fight with you, or they use dirty language when in your presence, and they're never respecting you and make dirty jokes. These are the boys whom girls should avoid. And boys should avoid girls who think that it is unmanly if they cry, or keep slapping you, or they're always materialistic, expecting something from you, and call you dirty names, and don't respect your physical boundaries. And whenever, if suppose you cry, they call you, you're being a girl. These things are not accepted. And the first thing you have to do is cleanse yourself of these toxicity, and then put yourself, as I said, put yourself first, and set your boundaries. And what are the boundaries? You can easily say, I will, if you are not shouting at me like this, I will disconnect the phone. Or if you want to avoid for the time being, I need time to think, and I'll come back to you. I can only stay for half an hour, not beyond it. I will not respond to emails when I'm at school, or when thank you for your offer, but I can't take your offer. I'm not comfortable. So if you pressurize me, I'm going to leave you. I'm not going to be your friend. I'm not comfortable discussing such issues with you. I respect your opinion, but my life and my decision are different, so I don't want to. And another important thing is knowing what is a good touch and bad touch. Nowadays, I think most of your schools are knowledgeable, are taking it up. And you need to know that the mouth, the chest, and the buttocks and the genitalia are the ones which are put in bread, are the ones where you do not allow anybody to touch you. And of course, the safest is only the hands, where you can shake hands or something like that. That's the only allowed. Rest of them fall in the gray zone. It is an individual's choice whether they are comfortable or not, and who the person with you, how comfortable it is with the person next to you. But always say no if you are uncomfortable. It is, you have the power to say no. And what does a no mean? A no means no. So the concept of consent, we have already said, it goes by the acronym FRIES. It is permission for anything. You should always ask for consent. Do not assume consent, and you always have to respect. If your friend gives you a consent that let's go to the coffee shop today at 12 o'clock, it is meant only for today at 12 o'clock to the coffee shop, not tomorrow, nor anything beyond going to the coffee shop. That she hasn't given consent for anything beyond that. The same way it is for anything. So when they say stop, when they turn away, when they say I don't want to, when they shove you away, they say leave me alone, they say I'm not ready, they push you away, or they don't like it, then all these still mean, or they cry, it means only a no. When they say it, they all indicate a no. And whenever there is a peer pressure, do not you just say a no or leave the seat, saying that I'll see you later. Just joke about it, say that it is not possible as a joke, or you can make an excuse, or you can change the subject and divert their attention. Let's not do this. Let's go to the canteen and have a glass of orange juice or something like that. You can say that to your friend and try to divert them if you are are not comfortable with what they want you to do. So always you have to listen to your gut instinct, like I said. So the purpose is to have a better future for your future generations. And so for that, we are coming out with this initiative. And as all of you must be knowing Malala Yousafzai was, she says, I want every girl to know that a voice can change the world. I would add to that, I want every girl and boy to know that their voices can change the world, and the future would be beautiful. So please go ahead with the poster and the thing. And thank you all. So let's tweet together. And I think if we can, do we have any questions in the chat box?
Thank you, ma'am. Thank you, Krishna, ma'am. There was one boy who wanted to ask and he could not ask. I think we can take that question, and the principal madam has communicated that they want to propose vote of thanks.
Okay.
Not able to hear, ma'am. Some problem. We
finished on time.
On time.
We have 9 minutes to go.
Yes.
So I think Madam Lata is happy that we could connect to your children, and I hope we have given you the needed.
We have lived up to the expectations.
Yeah, we have lived up to their expectations. To yours, and the children have learned.
Not able to hear. Yeah, not able to hear.
Really, no words to tell, ma'am. No words to tell. I'm really grateful for each one and everyone who has spent a valuable time. You can hear from our children now what they want to tell. Because children are the main thing to describe about today's session. 1 minute.
Namaste to one and all. My name is Dheera. I'm from 8G. I want to speak up about why women are like scared to face their problems.
You cannot ask. If someone asks you, you cannot be quiet.
Yes, ma'am. Firstly, when supposedly, a woman gets teased or abused by someone, she usually gets scared to say to anyone. Not because she feels that it is her mistake to go out on by her own, or it's her mistake to not bring anyone with her.
the problem with them, see, what I want to say is, it's not the problem, it's not the mistake of the victim, it's the mistake of the person who did that. Someone, imagine if someone robbed your house, it is not your mistake that you got robbed. It is the robber who did that. So, women usually get very much scared to show themselves up, but because they're, they feel very scared, first of all, and they feel they are a mistake. But I want to say that every woman has the right to stand up, not only women, men, and everyone has the right to stand and speak up. And I beg to people who, say that it is their mistake. I seriously swear that to all the parents and the teachers out here, I want to say that encourage a child to go out alone, encourage to do the things by their own, so that they could grow and they could learn more, so that they could face up, they could stand on their own, and they need to be independent. Every human needs to be independent. Actually, my cousin recently is getting married, so she wants to. She actually wanted to work independent, but her parents did not allow her due to she's a woman. But if you see that case, if it's a man, many people would allow. Why? Why do women get discriminated? After 75 years of independence and many laws and after the constitution famous and many revolutions and many protests against violence. So why do women still get discriminated and why are they still afraid to stand up? That is my question.
Thank you. Thank you for your beautiful expression. We really appreciate what you said. It's very true that they are being discriminated. And why is it happening? Yes, it is. Why is it happening? So, as a citizen of our country, our responsibility is not to ask why, but then to see that it will not be there. At least we can reform the status for to some extent. So basically, that's the whole purpose of this initiative, where we understand that you young minds are the ones who are going to make this country strong for the future, and you will make the world a much better and beautiful place to live. So we are all looking at that world where that beautiful place, the future is going to be. And in that, as a prelude to that, we are trying to sensitize you people. So I think it is time you people write your blogs. You have such beautiful thoughts in your minds. You have such beautiful, and you all are tech savvy. I know that you are much better than us, that putting down your points. So when you take it up,
I think that's a wonderful idea. All of you have expressed so beautifully. Put them down in a blog or a magazine,
your voices together. When more and more children from different schools will join together, and you can put in your
discussions, open forums, and
yes. I think we should start some thing where like it will be a revolution per se, where people put in all their thoughts, children put in their thoughts of what they would like the future to be and how they want to prevent discrimination, whatever.
One bright ray of hope is a lot of boys today have come out with such very clear and passionate messages.
Exactly.
You speaking on behalf of your cousin, I mean, that means that tomorrow you are not going to hinder or discourage any girl or woman in your life from becoming their best. I think that's what we are aiming for, and that's what we are seeing today in you. Thank you so much. And it speaks a lot about your school also. Thank you, ma'am.
So thank you to all the doctors here for spending their time to show how the society should change. I really respect all of you, and I stay together with Dheera. Thank you.
Thank you.
And can we all say Dheera together?
Dheera.
Yeah. Thank you. You can take a picture, please. Yeah, I think we have only 2 more minutes.
Yeah, quickly. Namaste, namaste. Please go ahead.
student of DAV standing before you to ask a doubt, ma'am.
Yeah.
In this journey of 6 years, did the society change?
In
your journey, 6 years, you are staying with Dheera in 6 years.
No,
Yeah.
actually.
Did the society change?
No, actually, in the beginning, we were trying to sensitize our own obstetricians and gynecologists. We started with our own colleagues. Slowly, in the last 1 year, we have taken up children as our main we are trying to educate or sensitize our the children in our all over the country. So we are hoping for change, and definitely we believe that there is going to be a change.
I would like to say, even if 10% of the people with whom we come into contact with 100 people, suppose, even if we can change 10 to 20%, that's a great change, is what we feel. We can only change the thought process. Not everyone will take it forward, but children are more likely to take it forward. So definitely we are sure that we have touched many minds and hearts and thoughts in our journey.
And
we
I'm
intend
sure
to
that tomorrow, I think today, over your lunch break, all of you children would be discussing this. And definitely this point will become a wave. I'm sure you'll go home, talk about it to your parents, your sister.
One more thing is,
go on and on. It's like a wave, you know.
We would like to think of you all as Dheera warriors.
Yeah.
So we are only passing the message on to you to be carried forward.
And you are the warriors. You are going to fight for the change.
Together we are going to do this. And that's what we should believe in. Yeah.
Thank you so much, ma'am. Thank you so much on behalf of all the children and all the teachers. A big Dheera warriors girl. Please.
Thank you all. Thank you so much. We love all of you. Children, have a healthy life and all the best for you in your
Actually, we would have liked to come in person, but because it's also our working time, so we would like to come sometime later to meet you.
We'll be very much grateful to you if you come and visit our school. Thank you, ma'am.
It would
So
be our pleasure.
12:30 we join again,
Yes,
right?
Second session.
Yeah. So Dr. Jamuna madam, Dr. Shravanti, and again Dr. Shailaja might join. I'll try depending on my connection.
Okay.
Thank you, Krishna ma'am.
My pleasure. Thank you. Thank you, everybody. Bye. See you.
Shriman? Bye. I think we can end this, Shriman.
Yes, madam. Yes, madam. I'll do.
Yeah, 12:30 we'll join back.
Okay, ma'am.
Thank you so much.
Ma'am, welcome, ma'am.